अगर रिस्पॉन्स के बारे में बताया हमारे लोगों को।
Tanya, I'll go first. Response, abhi bhi it's the first week, so far it's been encouraging, and because we've tried something जो थोड़ा normally आप नहीं देखते हैं in terms of character जैसे build किया गया है, narrative जैसे flow करता है, so overall quite overwhelming अभी के लिए. Tanya, you want to say something?
तानिया, क्या कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स मिल रहे हैं आपको किरदार के, क्योंकि हमने देखा बहुत शेड्स है इस किरदार में.
जी तो जैसा आपने कहा एग्जैक्टली जैसे सर कह रहे थे कि वी बीन गेटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ encouragement from people as to how the characters are being built up and how the story has built up. So it's really heartwarming ki yes, it was a gamble. We were, I mean, I was sold when I read the script, when I read the story, but still mounting this character was a huge responsibility, and so far the response has been very positive. People have received it with so much love, and I mean Meena's character is getting so much love, so it's really heartwarming.
So how was your experience as a
Meenakshi, and tell us about that and what preparation you have gone through for this character.
How was the experience being Meenakshi? I think one word definitely comes to mind is different. It is nothing like the characters I have done or like me at all. When I watched the show also now, there's a very different energy to that character which I did not know I was capable of. So thank you to the creators, thank you Arindam sir, thank you Devoloi sir for pushing me to that direction. And when I read it only, the one thing that was very attractive about her is that she's very flawed. And she accepts that. Meenakshi has that self-awareness कि हाँ मुझ में खामियाँ हैं पर मैं हूँ और मैं ऐसी ही हूँ. So accepting those flaws and becoming that person who doesn't have that guard around her कि oh she has to be perfect. But she isn't picture perfect. She doesn't even put up a show that she is an affable character. But there is still something about her that can really draw you to her. Like one of the characters says also, Dr. Naya's character, that there's something about that girl that makes you do things, and that was the same for me. There was something about that character that just made me do things. Like it wasn't scripted. The character, yes, there is a basic foundation that we had, but what we were creating with Meenakshi was a lot of it was done on ground. Like as we were going into the scene, like yeah, you know what, try this, try that, and so it was great being off script and just being able to play around with that character.
But Tanya, this is completely different from the work that you have already done. So as an actor, I mean, a person thinks twice to get in that shoes. कि हम उसमें सफल हो पाएंगे या नहीं. Were there any second thoughts before venturing into the project?
Not at all. Actually, that was the thing that was really that drew me in. Was like I really want to break my character. I don't want to keep playing shades of Tanya, and this was also a shade of Tanya that I never really thought about, or I never really gave myself a chance to, grow into. And with Meenakshi, I got that chance. You won't necessarily be the most liked person in the room, yet you draw that authority. You sort of demand that presence in the room. When you walk in, people look at you, people listen to you, and I respect that about her. That she is just who she is, and I mean for me that was the best thing about playing Meenakshi, that she was nothing like I've ever done.
Sir, also yes, please continue.
I think the way Meenakshi is probably not somebody. I'm a young girl, and what we are trying to do on screen is not making the audience fall in love with her. And she's the way she is. She's flawed. She goes and makes mistakes. And largely that's what she does, making mistakes. But she takes on the world, and the world which is dominated by men, a world which is dominated by rules. She takes. That's really what the first season's plot is about. But for us, it is not so much the plot; it is the character of Meena. And if you look at long-running detective stories, not just on screen, but in books and other forms of media, you will realize that the plot becomes unimportant beyond the point in time. It is really the detective who drives you forward. And what we try to create is this young girl who's taking on the world, as I say, and moving forward. You know, what I tried to create was, and in my mind, the young girls are the heroes of the future, and almost a kind of an inspiration for girls who are growing up, saying that they can take on the world, they can break the rules, and you know, when you're breaking the rules, you're not necessarily doing bad things. When you're breaking the rules, you're also doing good things, but you can take it on. And that's why Tanya really, this frail girl who can take it on, and I think she's gone deep inside Meena, and with all Meena's vulnerabilities, her strengths, her making mistakes, plodding through things, not knowing what detection is all about, because she's not really a detective, but hopefully post this experience she'll grow into one.
Right. Also, sir, have you not planned the theatrical release of this film?
This is a series, so
That sounds like a good idea.
how can
Any plans to, as I mentioned, it's larger than life, so any plans to make it in
into a film? No plans right now. Right now the plan is to reach as many people with the show that has been put together, and try and see if we can take Meena and her spirit to the world.
Maybe some other project or that kind of a cinema where detective movies are made. You know, recently there's this also trend which is happening. Hollywood में तो बहुत सारी फिल्में ऐसी हैं. But even for the Indian audience, you know, the grassroots level cinema, which is connected to detectives and all those things that we have been watching since the 80s and 70s of Hindi films. 60s, of course. So, are there any plans in your mind as a creator? I mean, do you have anything that?
I mean, do I like this genre? I love it. I mean, this is what I really do, dig this genre. Do I want to do a large screen project in this genre? Of course. I mean, the moment I get an opportunity to do it, I'll do it.
Tanya, you are playing a character which is vulnerable also, and it seems like you might not end up doing the right thing at the end, but still you have gutsy feeling and you are doing again and again to find out something which you want to. Like, it's not a normal kind of role. It has its layers. Tell us about that thing. What do you think? Preparation and all.
So when we were prepping for it only, when I read the character the first time, she seems like a very ordinary, you know, like a girl who you can just pass by and you won't even pay attention to. But there's an overriding sense of wanting to do the right thing. Right thing is not necessarily, like sir was saying, that it does involve a lot of rule breaking and it does involve a lot of, you know, angst within her as well. But the overriding sense still is that I want to do what would be right by the other person. And that is, I think, the driving force behind Meena, that no matter what the risk is, she is willing to put in the effort, she is willing to walk that extra step, walk that extra mile, because that is who she is. She doesn't care about the risk that she would be putting herself into, because that needs to be done. That is the thing about her. That is the thing that needs to be done, and she is the one who's going to be executing it, because she knows that she lives in a world where people live by the rules, where rule breaking is seen as something that you need to put down. You need to fit into the society, and Meena doesn't really care about those things. She does what she thinks needs to be done. And I think that is such a beautiful thing, because that is her flaw, that she would constantly be willing to push the limits, constantly willing to push the boundaries. But at the end of the day, she's really trying to do everybody, like the people around her, a good turn without any sense of selfishness that she's going to get anything from it, but a sense of completion. That I think is just who Meenakshi is.
One point is that, you know, at times you find Meenakshi to be irritating. Yeah. And I think that's a great thing, and we have built on finding irritating, because if you're conforming, the conformists find people irritating. Yeah, and that's the whole world, and that's one of the things in the world that Meenakshi is taking on. Okay, and so often when she's being branded as irritating, flawed, nagging, that's exactly what we are trying to build.
Yeah, she's real.
She's real. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't care about the perfectness, and she is not any of those things. She doesn't even pretend to be those things. So yeah, that annoying habit, that annoyance that she already has, that angst that she has, there's a constant irritation around her. And I think, yeah, we did build on those things because Meenakshi is those things. And I feel like without those things, she'd be incomplete. She'd be like any other character.
Yeah.
But Tanya, coming to you, we have seen on the real screen that the characters who were there in the film, the characters are huge. All the big names are there. Star cast, काफी बड़ी है. How was your experience in real life, and then we'll come to the real?
In real life, working with these actors, I think it was amazing because the thing is that none of us were like the characters that we were cast into. So I don't know what casting went into this, but amazing casting because it was such a joy to be around these people. Be it Param sir, be it Jishu sir, be it Vinay sir, Zarina ma'am, everybody. I think they're such good people. They're such good human beings that obviously, they're great actors, and that goes without saying because they are here. But they're such fun to work with, they're such fun scene partners because I think it's very important when you are genuine with your scene partner because there's a constant exchange of energy, there's a banter that's going on with you guys. So these characters, I got along with them in real life really well. I think they're such lovely people, so I was just having a great time off-set, but on-set also I think everybody understood the texture of the characters so much that it was never a discussion, it just went along with it. Like everybody just knew what to do and how to respond to each other. So I think that is such for me it's a blessing as an actor, as a human being, to get to meet such interesting people and to be able to share screen space with them obviously is then a whole other conversation.
बॉलीवुड की फिल्मों में भी क्या आप काम करना चाहेंगी आने वाले समय में हम देख सकेंगे आपको?
जी मैं कर रही हूँ, तो आएंगी आपको जरूर सुनाएंगे, अभी उनके बारे में बात करेंगे, बट राइट नाउ इट्स अबाउट द आइडिया.
Thank you.
Thank you.